How long has it been since there was a massive shakeup in the console wars? While Sega vs. Nintendo is remembered as the classical war, the fight between Sony and Microsoft absolutely wins for the longest. So long, in fact, that they might both lose. If somehow you didn't see it, there's a link below. Steam has announced two new pieces of gaming hardware, I don't count controllers, the Steam Frame VR headset and the new Steam Machine console. If you forgot about the old Steam Machine, me too. Honestly, I thought Valve preferred it forgotten, so the announcement of a new one caught me by surprise. Today's landscape is so much different from when I entered it in Gen 3. Gaming is simultaneously in the best and worst state it has ever been in. Let me explain. Gaming today occurs in three camps. These are not exclusive, most players will likely spend time in each of them. My own camp, the place I feel the most comfortable in, is PC gaming. I like to call this the frontier. The opportunities here both for players and developers are infinite. Anyone who wants can take a stab at development, and those who crave novelty benefit. This is why I consider this era of gaming to be the best. Innovation and diversity is more profound than at any point in history. But it's also a wild west. Most of those chasing gold will come up short, and even the most promising prospects can turn out to be junk. You might also have to sell your house to afford the journey. The second camp is consoles, or as I call them, the Empire. Consoles are relatively inexpensive. Games in their markets have to meet standards, which locks out the worst of the garbage. They're backed by a ruling body who subtly or blatantly nudges you towards their favorites. But those favorites are usually good games in their own right, or at least decent. They likely hold the rights to popular IPs that cannot be played elsewhere and defend them like a dragon's hoard. Console manufacturers may also alter your experience at any time. Pray they don't alter it further. Then there's the final camp, mobile devices. This is Mordor. It is dark, vile, and seemingly unstoppable. Mobile devices, particularly phones, are the most affordable gaming platform on the market. They're also a necessity. You can't even apply for jobs anymore without internet access, and phones are the cheapest access point. So not only are they more affordable, they're ubiquitous. And boy, have game publishers realized that. Now here's the thing. Mobile devices are the new kid on the block. Computers, if not personal computers, invented video games. But the camp most of us started out in was consoles. Console creators recognized the potential of games and developed machines that lowered the barrier to entry. You don't need a multifunctional PC if you only want to play games, so manufacturers cut everything not related to that, standardized the parts, lined up the software, and thus lowered the cost. Gamers embraced them. Popular culture embraced them. While the demise of the gamers are nerdy losers stereotype would not happen until well after I'd left high school, kids those days were watching cartoons about console mascots. So that camp has been a driving force in the gaming hobby for 4 decades. Challengers have risen, titans have fallen, Nintendo abides. As it stands today, Microsoft never quite recovered from the Xbox One. Sony seems poised to win the war, though Nintendo, amazingly, has reasserted its place near if not at the top of the sales charts. But regardless of who is winning the console war, is it going to be a Pyrrhic victory? Between the consoles of yesteryear and the consoles of today, something fundamental changed. For those that remember, consoles often had large exclusive libraries tied to their system. Picking your system often meant picking your games. Exclusives are not a pro-consumer move, but they were key to a console's identity. We don't really live in a world of first-party titles anymore. They exist in name, but even big names are wandering off their home consoles. Sometimes purposely, sometimes as a consequence of how consoles have evolved. Namely, they are becoming PCs. I'm not a console gamer anymore. I only own a Nintendo Switch, which I only own to play indie games on the go. Now that I have a Steam Deck, it's probably going to collect dust. A big reason for that and my shift to PC gaming is a sense that A, the big console exclusives just aren't offering as much as they seem, and B, without those exclusives, the consoles are all starting to feel very similar. Whether Xbox or PlayStation, your in-game experience won't differ that much. Purchasing decisions boil down to costs, features, and how friendly the ecosystem is. Being a fan of Sony in the same way 90s kids were fans of Sega or Nintendo, it just doesn't make sense anymore. These aren't companies with any kind of identity or values, they're just corporations. Stock price is the legally mandated motivation. Even the estimable Nintendo, lord of quality games and frivolous lawsuits, is mostly building machines that play third-party titles which would play better on a different system. They really do survive off their IPs, and personally, I hope they always do. But here's the thing, no matter who is first in the console battle, mobile gaming is winning this war. If we consider phones to be a platform in the same category as consoles, their profits are nearly double. That's insane. From where I sit, the mobile gaming market is at best a colossal missed opportunity and at worst a hive of scum and villainy. Portable consoles have been proven viable for nearly as long as consoles have been. Pairing the gaming world with mobile devices is a natural development. But what it became? Anyone want to tell me what the hell this is? Or why the full game doesn't play like this? Or why Raid Shadow Legends has no interest in sponsoring me? This is the camp that took whale, a term used by casinos to identify high rollers, and thought it would be fine to label their players with it. So much of this industry is hurt by the insertion of microtransactions and gambling mechanics, but mobile gaming is the belly of the beast. Worse, this is going to be so many people's first gaming experience. What are they going to take from that? Some of these games are, on paper at least, mechanically solid, but the focus is never on the gameplay, the focus is on getting the player to buy more stuff. The only games I ever see that are immune to this are ports of PC and console games. I hate this. I hate seeing the only truly interactive art medium reduced to a casino that somehow pays out less while being even more addictive. What happens when they finally get tired of Genshin or Nikki? Will they seek out the challenge and satisfaction of Factorio or face their own impermanence in Outer Wilds? I'm not convinced the mobile gaming experience will in any way inspire an expanding interest in games. They might just assume their gacha game du jour is representative of gaming as a whole and write off the entire hobby. I'm not liking that prospect, but it's a shadow I cannot banish completely. Consoles just aren't offering enough to fight back. Mobile is a better environment for the most profitable tactics, and so consoles can't keep up. And since the shareholders demand infinite growth, who knows if they will want to keep investing in consoles that may have hit their limit. PC gaming does have a lot more to offer, but quality can vary, the upfront cost is high, and if you're only interested in the big releases, it might not tempt you. Judging by the sales of the PS5 versus PS4, consoles may have peaked. They might never exceed the popularity of mobile gaming again, or reclaim their position in the cultural zeitgeist. This isn't a war consoles can win on their own. But what if consoles don't have to fight on their own? What if instead of each camp fighting alone, two of them joined forces? That is what could happen with the release of the Steam machine. Step back with me for a moment. The Wii releases, and with it, the Virtual Console. I loved this thing. It let me buy all the classic games I missed and play them again. Brilliant idea. It's dead now. The Virtual Console was shut down. Then the Wii U and 3DS marketplaces were shut down. I bought those games, and now I have no way to play them. My Wii is lost to the annals of history, and since there was no physical edition, I have no chance of recovering them. Despite all those games being playable on the Switch, I would have to re-buy them to play them again. And why on earth would I ever do that, just to have it happen all over again? Contrarily, I bought Crystallis, a classic NES game as part of the SNK 30th edition collection on Steam. I bought it on my old PC. I can still download and play it on my new one. I can play it on my Steam Deck, because PC marketplaces are not tied to devices. As long as the marketplace persists, your purchases remain available. Everything I bought a decade ago on Steam is still available to download and play, assuming it wasn't online dependent. Well, like the Steam Deck, the Steam Machine is a PC designed to work as a console. It's taken some work to get there, but it's coming next year, and this is the first time I've been genuinely excited for a console since the Wii. This is not just the introduction of a new console to the market. This is a statement that PC and console do not have to be separate camps. Anyone who buys a Steam Machine and hooks it up to their television will immediately have access to their entire library of Steam games, which, as I mentioned, can include a lot of what is available on console. And if they ever do invest in a gaming PC, all those games will work there as well. Not everything will work, of course, some genres are just not that compatible with a control pad setup. But if I had to guess, we will soon see Steam Machine verified the way we see Steam Deck verified. The PS4 has about 4,000 games available for it. Steam has over 100,000, with no worry that your games won't be playable on the next Steam machine. Hell, since it's a PC, nothing will really stop you from putting other gaming stores on it. I'm a little concerned about the price point. The system is supposed to launch in early 2026, so why wasn't the price in the announcement? To truly occupy a console space, the machine has to offer a lower barrier for entry. If it can't do that, it's not going to work. But they made it work for the Steam Deck, so why not? I'm also not sure if gamers will embrace it. Will they understand what they're getting? Will Steam market it well? There's a lot of things that could go wrong here, including that the damn thing might just be garbage, but in the fight for gaming's future, this feels like a powerful weapon. And since it's owned by Valve, a private company, its values are Gabe's values, and for the most part, the platform he created without shareholder interference has been a boon for us all. It probably won't kill mobile gaming, and really, I don't actually want to kill mobile gaming. I'm mad, but that anger comes from disappointment. It could have been so much more. I just want to see gaming restore the connection between quality and profit instead of manipulating us into higher spending. That may never happen though, and as the line between consoles and PCs blurs, it was inevitable that the two would someday unite. I'm here for that, and I wish Valve well with all my heart. Except for that thing about delisting games that are offered for less on competing platforms. Thanks for playing, everyone. Also, the Steam frame looks really cool and I can't wait to try it out.